Well, good morning, welcome, and thank you for joining our webinar titled Preparing Your Tenants for the Digital Future, sponsored by Arize. My name is Dan Ukelson, and I'm the Executive Director of the Apartment Association of Greater Los Angeles. I want to first thank our sponsors today, our feature sponsor, Arize, the Smart Apartment Technology Company, our title sponsor, PRC Restoration, and our presenting sponsor, Livable, the Smart Utility Company. PRC Restoration and Construction is an expert in the field of water damage restoration, fire restoration, and mold remediation in Southern California. PRC is on call around the clock, 365 days a year, providing prompt quality service, and they offer a variety of restoration services, including, but not limited to, water damage restoration, content pack-out services, sewage cleanup, fire and smoke damage cleanup, mold remediation, demolition services, general construction, septic pumping, board up services, and COVID-19 cleaning and applying disinfecting services. Because customers have suffered a serious mishap, PRC does not just provide support in the restoration of your home, business, or rental property. They make a steadfast commitment to get your life back to normal as soon as possible. No job is too large or too small. First, PRC will ensure the safety of you, your family, tenants, or employees by assessing the damage. Then their highly trained, experienced, certified technicians will use cutting-edge equipment, technology, and procedures to recover valuables and restore your property back to its original state as fast and as cost-effectively as possible. So give PRC a call today at 855-772-3771. If you call and mention the Apartment Association of Greater LA, you'll receive a free assessment on any of their services. You can learn more about PRC online at www.prcinc.com, or again, give them a call at 855-772-3771. Give them a call today. Livable is a leading residential and commercial real estate utility billing company providing a suite of cloud services, including its flagship Ratio Utility Billing System, or also known as RUBS. Livable has been serving the real estate industry since 2009, and their utility billing platform was built to recover utility costs for any real estate stakeholder, property manager, housing provider, or apartment manager. Livable's technology solutions strive to create a community around conservation. Livable provides an end-to-end solution for any size portfolio of properties to recover utility costs, increase profits, and build a transparent, financially accountable community of tenants. To learn more, visit them at www.livable.com. And we're so fortunate to have joining us today from Livable, Sarah Hoverson, who is an account executive at Livable. Thank you, Sarah, for joining us today. We're looking forward to hearing what you have to say.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. Happy to be here. Yeah, I mean, you pretty much covered most of it, but we've been partnered with AGLA for several years now, 2 or 3 years, and we work with so many of your members already. Would love to share our offerings and our services with more, especially as we look into the new year. Hopefully we'll all be rounding a corner and there will be better days ahead. And just wanted to, invite everyone to go to the website, livable.com/AGLA or /APN. You can learn a little bit more about how we can help you in recover utility costs. We also offer a free monitoring service where you can actually provide existing tenants that you might not be able to make any changes to their leases at the moment. We can provide them with kind of a monitor summary of their usage and of those charges to help promote conservation efforts. It's really important that we have everyone just being mindful of their water and reporting leaks, because as we know, those utility costs just continue to go up. So it's really important to have, tenant accountability and awareness. So we have lots of different services from RUBS to sub-meter billing to benchmarking and analytics. And if you get in touch with us, we can kind of do a portfolio review with you for no cost and kind of just understand and help you understand, what the options are available to you as we look into the new year and hopefully finding more ways for you to make more income off of your properties, but also, again, share the conservation message with your tenants.
Thank you, Sarah. And that monitoring service, that can really help a lot of different owners out. With everybody working from home these days, utilities are being used much more. And so if, people can be notified about really what it's costing and how much they're using water and other utilities, definitely there could be a lot of savings. And really the toughest thing is just making that initial call to Livable. I find that once our members do make that call and they get the information from you guys, we get great feedback. So really, I want to encourage everybody to just make that call, go check out their website. We have links on our website and also on Apartment News's website. So definitely go and check out Livable. They're great.
One more thing that I want to add is that if anyone has a vacancy right now, it's a really important time to talk with us. This is the really the one and only opportunity that you'd have to be able to implement a program like this. So definitely anyone with a vacancy, please take the time to get in touch with us.
Great. That's an excellent point. Thank you, Sarah. Also, many thanks to our featured sponsor today, Arize. Arize is a smart apartment technology company that offers multifamily properties all the latest products in property automation. With Arize's secure platform, property management personnel can build safer, more connected communities. Arize's smart sync system offers a superior collection of management softwares and automated devices such as smart locks, water leak detectors, and much, much more. Joining us today from Arize, we are fortunate to have Kyle Finney and Mira Malik. Kyle and Mira are business development managers at Arize, and they share a passion for emerging technologies that can help those of us in the multifamily rental housing industry. Kyle has worked in commercial real estate in both the Phoenix and Las Vegas markets for the past 4 years. He heads up various initiatives for adopting new technologies and is responsible for leading both marketing and sales strategies at Arize. Mira has had over 8 years of real estate experience in Southern California. She started out as a real estate agent, flipping homes in the Los Angeles area. She has also worked with the largest hard money lender in the nation in both acquisitions and wholesale. Both Kyle and Mira lead IoT-backed smart technology initiatives that attract and retain tenants, increase operational efficiencies, and net higher operating income for their clients. Kyle and Mira, thank you for joining us today. We can't wait to hear about what you're going to share with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. It's such a pleasure to be here, and we really love and appreciate the introduction. We're so excited to be sharing with everyone about preparing your tenants for the digital future. So welcome, everyone. In this webinar, we're going to discuss the evolving needs of future tenants and how to capitalize on these opportunities in multifamily real estate. But first, a quick introduction to your speakers. Just elaborate a little bit more on what Dan has shared. So first, Mira Malik, that's me. I am a business development manager with Arize. My professional background is, of course, in real estate in both sales and operations. I currently specialize in the Southern California market with experience in property acquisitions, renovations, and wholesale. And joining me today is my counterpart, Kyle Finney. Kyle, please take it away.
Thanks, Mira. All right, so I'm excited to be here to share my insights on how to prepare your tenants for the digital future. Like Mira, I'm also a business development manager with Arize, and my professional background includes leading marketing and sales initiatives for commercial real estate firms, helping them to adopt the latest technologies that increase efficiency and profitability. So I guess jumping right into it, as we dive into the presentation, we'll offer insights into what tenants want and also discuss how you can be proactive in future-proofing your properties. So we'll touch on how to evaluate smart technology and provide a short list of must-have features. Finally, we'll go ahead and cover security and connectivity issues and how they can be best overcome. So before we get started, Mira's gonna touch on some important info in regards to Q&A and participation throughout the webinar.
Yes, thank you so much, Kyle. So at the very end of this presentation, we will have time for a brief Q&A session. We encourage you to participate. throughout this presentation by asking in the comments section and replying to other participants. Get the conversation going. We will see a total of 5 polling questions that will appear throughout the presentation. And these are really just intended conversations, and it'll share your knowledge with everyone as well, just as we hope to share our knowledge with you today. So please be sure to like your favorites by clicking the thumbs up button next to that comment. Once we get to the Q&A portion, we will do our best to answer as many questions as possible. And keep in mind that whoever asks the top 2 questions, meaning the ones with the most likes, will be receiving 2 smart products of their choice. So be sure to stay tuned and ask great questions to win. Diving into the main message, today we'll be highlighting how integrated technology is valuable to owners and property managers. This is important because it allows us to increase NOI, attract new tenants, and also reduce vacancies.
All right, thanks, Miriam. So to those points, we like to ask the question, what exactly is the digital future? And I'll give you a hint, it incorporates the integration of smart technology into our daily lives. So smart devices like Amazon Echo, Google Home, they're making our lives more convenient and more secure. And future tenants are seeking the benefits that come along with smart amenities, and they're looking for communities that offer smart apartment technology. So smart door locks allow tenants to send temporary access codes to family and friends, or even the nanny or dog walker. And that's just one great example of how smart tech is shaping our digital future today. So throughout this presentation, we'll be sharing more about smart devices and their benefits to tenants, as well as property managers and owners. So before we really get into the nitty gritty, Mira is going to share with you what our definition is of the digital future.
Great. So we define the digital future as a business trend that demands adapting to emerging technology or risk becoming obsolete. Here's a great example. I'm sure we all remember Blockbuster Video, the mega successful video rental chain that quickly came to dominate its industry. By 2004, they had grown to over 9,000 retail locations across the US. Now, despite their tremendous success, Blockbuster failed to keep pace with its changing environment. As new technology began to revolutionize the film rental industry, Blockbuster started fading away into bankruptcy. Meanwhile, Netflix was capitalizing on technological cues that Blockbuster had missed. In particular, those that made life more convenient for their customers. Thankfully, there are property automation tools that empower us to be a Netflix and not a Blockbuster. I'm sure you're all too familiar with PM softwares that allow you to conveniently collect rents, move tenants in and out with ease, and even manage maintenance requests. Now, imagine combining the abilities of that software with smart hardware devices that send real-time notifications and instant alerts. That is the power of smart apartment technology. So to avoid the same fate as Blockbuster, we need to be well informed about the demands of future tenants. According to our research, the key features that future tenants are seeking are advanced security options, convenient in-unit amenities, eco-friendly features, and self-guided tours. In the next 4 slides, Kyle will be diving deeper into each of these features and sharing some statistics to support each idea.
Right on. So as it relates to advanced safety features, 55% of millennials are actually willing to pay more for an apartment that's equipped with smart locks. Then you have smart motion detectors and smart entry sensors that also enable tenants to secure their home and their personal belongings. So if an entry sensor is opened or motion is detected, the tenant will be notified immediately. In-unit amenities, so regarding these, there'll be things like thermostat and lighting controls. 84% of residents are willing to pay more each month for smart home tech. Luckily, smart home technology offers residents a wide variety of smart devices that can be considered and therefore marketed as smart amenities. And then you have your eco-friendly features. So tenants they're seeking eco-friendly features, and like you can see here, renters are actually willing to pay an additional $31 each month to live in a building that includes sustainability initiatives. And so these simple Go Green initiatives can increase tenant attraction and lead to higher retention rates. And then finally, we have our self-guided tours, which I know a lot of us are doing right now. So when it comes to self-guided tours, tenants are looking for COVID-friendly ways to tour properties at their convenience. This also allows them to view units without any added sales pressure from leasing agents. So this high demand for self-guided tours is reflected in this survey, where 83% of prospective tenants said they prefer to use self-guided tours despite the option for virtual tours. So as a takeaway from this slide about self-guided tours and to give you some food for thought, I invite you to think about the fact that the conversion rate of self-guided tours was found to be 11% higher than tours conducted by a leasing agent. And so in the next slide, Mira will discuss the benefits of taking a proactive approach to emerging technologies.
Absolutely. So by adapting to integrated technology, we're proactively investing in the long-term success of your multifamily community. The sooner you take the lead and the sooner you will reap the rewards and growth and profits. So reactivity, on the other hand, is adapting a little too late and falling behind the competition. In the context of multifamily property management, this approach can cost you tenants, it can cost you profits, and even your hard-earned reputation. So what makes smart apartment technology the obvious solution here? Well, smart technology is predicted to reach an additional 57% market penetration in just 5 more years. That's a 25% increase from where we are today. This means that your property, if your property is lacking in smart technology or smart amenities, then most future tenants are simply looking elsewhere. So to put it bluntly, apartments that don't offer smart technology will become obsolete and will fail to meet the evolving needs of future tenants.
Yeah, so with that being said, we're going to dive right into how to prepare your property for the digital future. So there are a number of different ways to secure your tenants and your property while also offering better connectivity, accessibility, and convenience. And so before Mira goes into those top methods for securing your property, I'll leave you with this. I don't know if you guys knew this, but owners lose up to upwards of $10 billion annually from property loss due to fire and water damage alone.
Wow, that is pretty significant. So let's go ahead and just dive into those top methods for securing your property, which also include 24-hour monitoring and immediate risk detection. Because when it comes to safety, time is of the essence. Whatever security system you choose for your property, make sure it offers prompt notifications and alerts. Security cameras, for example, provide footage in real time. However, they pose some privacy concerns for tenants. So smart motion sensors not only eliminate this concern, but they also discourage unauthorized personnel from trespassing onto you. Entry sensors also work alongside the smart motion detectors to detect burglaries and deter any break-ins. They also sound an alarm and they send immediate notifications, so you would be notified and so would your tenant. Now, smart entry sensors can be placed on doors or windows throughout the property, whether it's for the unit or for amenities. When it comes to emergency prevention, 24/7 monitoring is the best way to go. Let's say your tenant forgets their key or they get locked out. Well, maybe your staff also may have forgotten to close up the leasing office at the end of the night. So a way that you can basically counter that with smart apartment technology is using a smart lock. That way you can just easily click a button and virtually from anywhere you can lock or unlock the door. So you'll always know that your property is being secured, and tenants will also be able to secure their units even if they had forgotten to close the door. Now, let's talk a little bit about remote access control. This is exactly the technology that enables self-guided tours. Now, traditional methods of property management just can't account for this level of security or efficiency. Around the clock, smart monitoring is made possible thanks to an array of smart products. Smart water leak detectors identify when the smallest water leaks become available, I guess. So you'll be made aware and you'd be able to prevent costly hazards to your property. So right away, if a water leak is detected, not only are the tenants notified, but so is the property management team so that it doesn't get as bad as mold remediation. So we're kind of taking a proactive approach here. Since water damage accounts for over $2.5 billion in annual insurance claims, it's important to protect your assets and your bottom line. Now, smart smoke detectors provide reliable status monitoring and real-time smoke alerts to allow for quicker response time. So very similar to the water leak, the smart smoke detectors, however, they kind of avoid one issue that we find being very, very common. Residents disabling their smoke alarm detectors. While with smart detectors, your team will be notified right away if someone is tampering with the device. So they can no longer disable it and potentially cause a minor issue to become a very large one. So again, this promotes taking active rather than a reactive one. Finally, to discuss the key features needed to support the apartment future, Kyle will dive into how to mitigate connectivity issues and avoid interruptions.
All right, so this is obviously very important since we're all working off Wi-Fi right now. So in regard to having strong connectivity, while the value of smart apartment technology can't be overstated, these digital amenities are only as good as the Wi-Fi signal that keep them operating. So in other words, you wouldn't want these devices to cut into your Wi-Fi signal since you need the signal strength to operate other devices too, like your laptop or your TV. So thankfully, there are a few ways to ensure that your units offer optimal Wi-Fi connectivity, and I'll cover a few ways to minimize interference within your wireless gateway. So first of all, we'll touch on what a wireless gateway is. It's just a combination of a modem and router, which everybody should have. So if you do offer routers in your units, we recommend placing them at least 5 to 6 feet off the ground and away from other electronic devices that will cause interference. So another simple solution is to keep the firmware up to date. So next time you're prompted to update the device, just click update now and you'll be good to go. And then to strengthen the signal of your wireless gateway, you're going to want to invest in a smart Wi-Fi repeater. And these Wi-Fi extenders will amplify the signal to reach across a greater distance, making sure that signal strength is adequate for the entire unit. So whether it's, you have walls in the way, there's multiple bedrooms, interference with those is not going to be an issue. Next, you're going to want to control bandwidth hungry apps and just be aware of having too many devices paired on one Wi-Fi channel, as this can create traffic on the network and slow down speeds, which I'm sure, if you guys have multiple iPads and laptops and TVs connected to the Wi-Fi, you can see that it really starts to slow down. Finally, to suggest investing in smart devices that use the latest Wi-Fi technology. So if you guys have got the new iPhone, a lot of that hardware has been updated to allow for the best connection that you can get. And so I'll dive a little deeper into avoiding connection interruptions in the following slide. So this stuff here, it's going to get a little technical. I'll try to keep it simple and keep the energy up so everyone can follow along. And so in dealing with smart apartment technologies, there are several reliable options for connectivity. And I've shown in the chart, the top 3 smart technology protocols are Wi-Fi, Z-Wave, and Zigbee. And so as the majority of smart home devices operate primarily on Wi-Fi, but the problem with having too many devices paired on one Wi-Fi channel, like I discussed earlier, is that both the internet connection and the device connection become weaker. So if you can imagine giving a speech in an empty room and the sound is crystal clear, and then you add 30 more conversations into that same room, the message doesn't get across the same. It doesn't come across as clear. So this is why you want to avoid having all of your devices operating primarily on the Wi-Fi protocol. And so to combat this connectivity issue, there are newer smart home devices that communicate across different protocols. Those are most commonly either Z-Wave or Zigbee, which I'm going to get into right now. So you have Z-Wave, which provides less interference from smart home technologies. And Z-Wave devices communicate seamlessly regardless of manufacturer or even what version of Z-Wave is being used. So it doesn't matter how old it is, how new it is, the technology is always going to work. So this backward and forward compatibility ensures that smart hubs and other devices continue functioning properly with no interruptions. So the only drawback, or one of the drawbacks, I guess, of using Z-Wave is the lack of customization that can occur at the manufacturing stage of any product, as it's very limited. So Zigbee, on the other hand, the final one, transmits more data at a higher frequency, and that provides better connectivity. So naturally, this is going to be the best option as it has greater connectivity, reliability, and even signal strength. So it's even better at penetrating through walls and acts as a central control for all devices. And so that's why we at Arize, we prefer the Zigbee protocol for our devices. So when investing in smart technology, just be sure that your devices are operating on a Zigbee protocol for the best reliability and connectivity. So that's all I have for that. So next, Mir is going to discuss how to offer greater convenience and eco-friendly features to your tenants.
Wonderful. So smart devices just make life more convenient for everybody. Tenants love to automate their daily routines, like setting timers on their lights to come on and off, or even controlling the AC temperature remotely. Property managers can also benefit from saving time and money that is associated with smart technology. For example, keyless entry. With keyless entry, tenants don't have to worry about misplacing their keys, as mentioned before. And when they move out, there's also no need to rekey the locks. You simply change the access code. Now, property staff can also access units with ease for maintenance and repairs, all without having to carry around a set of bulk keys. So finally, property managers can now offer self-guided tours and gain back some of those valuable staff hours to focus on more revenue-generating activities, all while practicing better social distancing. So diving into the eco-friendly features, a recent study has found that 81% of modern consumers strongly believe that businesses should make environmentalism a top priority. That is a pretty significant number. Thankfully, smart products align with these eco-friendly demands of future tenants. That's because they're designed to increase energy efficiency as well as reduce expenditures. So more than 50% of home energy consumption actually goes to heating and air conditioning alone. This means that properties using outdated HVAC systems are wasting time and energy. Now, smart thermostat controls allow for reducing carbon footprint by setting daily schedules according to weather conditions. Tenants can also manage their thermostat settings remotely, like changing the temperature, for example, all through one convenient resident mobile application. Smart light bulbs use LED technology, and therefore they consume less energy than traditional light bulbs. For example, a typical smart light bulb consumes only about 10 watts, while an incandescent bulb would take over 60 watts. In recent years, 570 million tons of carbon dioxide emissions were reduced thanks to the use of LED light bulbs alone. That's quite a big impact. These eco-friendly features offer your tenants great cost savings on their utility bills, and it also makes them feel great about saving the environment. So in the following slides, Kyle will share more strategies on how to evaluate property technology options like a pro.
All right, thanks for that, Mira. So we're going to jump into the importance of data security. So obviously that's very important in today's world. So with personal data being such a valuable commodity, it's no coincidence that this has also become a prime target for theft, as you guys see all the time in the news. Just as you wouldn't leave your entire life savings laying around the house, you also don't want to leave your property's digitized information exposed to hackers. So that's why when dealing with third-party platforms, you need to be thinking about data security. So typically companies that store and process commercial data use 4 levels of classification. They use 4 confidential levels and 1 public levels for a total of 5. So here's a quick overview, as you can see, of the 5 different types of data. You have your sensitive. This is going to have to do with protecting intellectual property. Confidential, which protects information such as vendor contracts and employee files. Private, that's going to include customer names, addresses, photo IDs, things like that. And proprietary, this is going to refer to things like organizational processes and standard operating procedures. And then finally, you have public. So this is all information that can be disclosed to anyone, anywhere, anytime without any restriction. And so you just want to make sure you know which level of data security your vendors are using to protect sensitive, confidential, private, and proprietary information. So there are a couple easy and effective ways to strengthen your data security. So I'll go through them here. So you want to increase your data encryption. So end-to-end encryption is very important. So you just want to make sure that your vendors know how they're handling your data. Create strong passwords. Don't just do ABC123 or password. You want to use special characters, make them long and unique, and maintain your systems with the most up-to-date security options. You also want to reduce the frequency of data being transferred. So once again, having that end-to-end encryption is going to be crucial. And so the more you're transferring data, the more opportunities hackers have to intercept that. And finally, you just want to re-examine how your data is being stored and managed. So once again, just hitting on, if you're using a third-party vendor, just ask about how the data is being stored and managed, what security measures they're taking on the digital side. All right. So in selecting the best data connection platform, there are a few things to consider. So you want to consider coverage area. Think about how big the geographical area where you're installing the devices. Device compatibility. So think about what legacy programs you're currently running and if they're compatible with the smart home systems you're now considering. Backup connection is a big one. So for devices that require constant online connectivity, you want to consider maintaining a backup connection such as Wi-Fi. And then finally, Mira is going to remind us why discussing how to prepare your tenants for the digital future is so important.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kyle. So in today's competitive multifamily landscape, future tenants have many options to choose from. We've already uncovered their preferences for more convenient amenities, environmentally friendly options, and of course, how to tie that into the digital future. Now, multifamily communities can keep pace with the increasing demands for smart apartment technology. And if they don't, they simply risk becoming obsolete. Now, by adapting early, property managers can increase their net operating income, attract and retain more tenants, and of course, reduce their vacancies as well as operating expenses. And now, a quick introduction to our company. So Arize is a smart apartment technology provider that offers all the latest devices and property automation. Our secure platform allows property managers to build safer and more connected communities, all with the highest level of data security. With an embedded 4G chip in every smart hub, we can leverage all the benefits of the Zigbee protocol without any interruption or Wi-Fi expenses. Now, allowing for less interruptions, stronger connectivity, and superior signal strength is key. Wi-Fi can also be used as a secondary or backup option if you so choose. So a little bit about our products. First, what sets our platform apart from the rest is that we offer an all-inclusive solution where both tenants and clients never have to worry about device compatibility issues. Additionally, Arize oversees every stage of the product development all the way to customer support. This allows us to provide superior service and ultimate compatibility between both the software and the hardware. Arize also offers an array of smart devices, including smart door locks, water leak detectors, and even motion and entry sensors. With the addition of smart products currently in development, so Arize is continuously expanding its product line to meet the demands of multifamily industry. So with less than 2 years to break even, you can quickly grow your property's profits in excess of $30,000 a year, and that's a very conservative estimate. To further explore how these technologies can benefit your community, please visit arisehub.com and schedule a free demo with one of our team members today. And finally, we've made it to the Q&A portion. Thank you so much, everyone, for your great questions. We can't wait to hear them. Now, just besides the top 2 questions receiving the free smart products, we would also like to show our gratitude and appreciation for everyone's participation by offering a complimentary e-guide about smart apartment technology. To redeem your free copy today, please visit arisehub.com/AAGLA. And now I'll pass the mic back over to Dan to read off some of those top questions for us.
All right, you guys, great job. Really, really interesting stuff. I wanted to start out with a couple questions we got beforehand, and then we can go to the listener provided questions. So someone is asking, they have an old timer in a metal box with a round disc and screws. And problem is when the power goes off, the timer goes out. And it's wondering, are there smart timers for common area lighting?
From our research, there are a lot of smart lighting options. So definitely I encourage you to research those a little bit further to find the right one that meets your specific needs. Now with this particular case of, just losing power altogether and then having, it sounds like manually like restarting it. Is that correct? Am I understanding that?
Yeah, I mean, these things are kind of
an interesting
manual. They kind
challenge.
of just go around in circles, and they have screws to set the on and the off switch. And so when the power goes out, obviously the thing isn't spinning around. But with the smart device, it would know through the internet exactly what time it is, and you wouldn't have to reset it all the time.
So with smart apartment technology, our smart products, again, are first backed by the Zigbee protocol. And then if for whatever reason, for example, it loses connectivity, similar to this situation where you might lose power, it does kind of kick in with the Wi-Fi as a backup. Now, specifically for this question regarding the power, I'm not really sure what you're using, but I have a feeling that some smart apartment technology out there will be able to solve that problem for you. So hopefully our upcoming smart light bulbs can tackle that for you. So thank you for that.
Got it. All right. So you guys up to speed on boiler controllers? Because somebody asked a question about installing a boiler controller through a program with SoCal Gas. They're just wondering if there's any downside with installing that type of device on their water heater.
I've seen some really great promotions for that. So that's also to consider those options. We actually are partnered with a few companies in that space. So they are the specialists. We're more here to support. So our smart product help from a water leak perspective, in case that water boiler ever does incur some or encounter some sort of leak or, water, as far as water boilers go, that's not exactly in our wheelhouse.
Got it. Got it. Okay. And then for me, can you explain this Zigbee thing? So are you still buying Wi-Fi through your cable provider or through the phone company, but the Zigbee is just built into your devices, or is this a different kind of Wi-Fi or connectivity that you're getting?
Yeah, so I'll speak to that. So the Zigbee protocol is just, you can think of it as radio waves being transmitted on different frequencies. So you'd still use the same like Wi-Fi protocol. How the data is transferred is going to be through a different connection now. So that's what allows for more reliability. Even if we're just using the 4G chip, say your tenant is connected to the Wi-Fi goes out for whatever reason, that 4G chip is going to kick in, and that information is going to be transferred using that Zigbee protocol.
Got it. Got it. All right. I like the use of the radio description since I'm an old radio guy, having spent most of my career in the radio business. So thanks for that. So Robert here is asking about connectivity for the common area of his apartment building for security cameras and also timers for lighting. So is that something you could help Robert out with, and maybe give a little details on how Arize comes into play here?
Yeah, so in terms of connectivity in common areas, we just use our hub to connect any devices that are running off of it to that hub. And what was the second part of the question?
Looking for security cameras in the common area and also common area lighting. And, how does Arize, help out with, that, with that kind of installation? Would you help select some of the hardware, like the cameras and the lighting that they would need to get, or you're providing the hub and you just advise on what type of equipment this person would need to have installed?
I mean, I'd say that's pretty spot on. We definitely take a more consultative approach to see what they actually need versus just selling what we want to sell. And so, yeah, I mean, we get with our implementation team to see where the lighting fixtures would be installed. We'd get with them to see where we'd put the different smart hubs to connect all the lighting and any cameras that they have. And we just go from there.
Yeah,
Okay,
so just to elaborate a little bit, so our smart hubs can connect to up to 100 devices. So you can have one smart hub across, a wide range of an amenity, let's say, and you can add your smart security cameras, you can add smart lighting, all onto that same one hub, including, of course, smart locks and things like that if you want to also incorporate those into your amenities.
So where does Arize come in the process? Does somebody need to approach Arize at first to get your smart hub and then go out and procure all the equipment they're thinking of installing, like they want a thermostat or smart door locks or things like that? Or do they go out and buy this stuff and then call Arize and say, okay, now what do I do?
Good question. It is an all-inclusive platform. So the idea is you'd be getting everything through us, and we'd be, again, consulting with you. And so the products that you need, you can get right here in one place. And our approach is a little bit different from a lot of the competitors, where we don't just partner with a whole bunch of hardware products and slap them onto our software and hope the connectivity works well. We actually create everything ourselves. It's all pretty much proprietary. With the exception right now, we have the Yale Smart Lock. But that is something that we've integrated on the software side to a whole nother level. Our partnership is very strong because we're very focused on making sure that everything is on one platform and very seamless for the user. So you're never having to experience any issues or even contacting anyone else when it comes to resolving those issues.
Got it. Here's a great question. So is your platform able to take voice activation?
Great question. Coming soon, I promise. Actually, some of our sister companies, some of our bigger conglomerate partner companies, they actually currently work with Alexa and Google Home. So we're taking that path. It's just in integrate.
All right, great. What do you think the timing is on that?
Honestly, I hate to say, because it's really tough to say. When you're working with a third party and pretty API integration, there's so much unknown. My understanding is it usually takes around 3 to 6 months in the short term to actually get a software integration going.
Got it. Got it. Number one question from Victoria is, how much does all this stuff cost? And I don't know if you can answer that. That's kind of a wide open question, but maybe you can give some insight on costs for some of the things you guys do.
Absolutely. That's a great question, honestly. But everything is customizable. So it really just depends on your needs. Right now, we do have some packages, of course, that we've put together that have, maybe 2 smart water leaks with hub and, smart lock and things like that, just little packages or bundles, if you will. Our value one's around $450, so it's $450 a door. But again, those are totally customizable based on your needs.
Got it. So $450 for the smart lock and the water leak detection.
It includes a lot more than that, actually.
Got it.
I won't list the exact devices yet, but if you're interested in, of course, exploring those or just customizing some pricing for your community, just taking a look at, if it's attainable, feel free to just reach out to us. And of course, we're happy to walk you through that. Got
it. And, we'll go through some more questions, but just to make sure, the phone number and the website, it's actually arizehub.com. And this is a good phone number to reach you guys at, this 833-383-7962 if people have questions.
That is correct.
Great. You want to give out an email address while we're here?
Sure, you can actually email sales@arizehub.com. So that's ARIZEHUB.com.
Great, great. Just make sure people take that down because there are going to be follow-up questions. If smart keyless entry system is down, what is the backup option for unit entry?
So with the keyless entry systems, they are battery operated with I believe it's a D battery that goes into the bottom. So the thing about these is if you're connected to that, you're going to get a notification when the battery is around 30%. So you know well in advance, both the PM team and the tenant will know well in advance whether or not that battery is going to die on you. But the backup option is for our current smart locks will be just a traditional key, a master key.
Got it, got it.
Yeah, or you can always just swap the battery out for a new one and be up and running again.
I see. Kind of works like my alarm system from ADT. Lets me know. Can you use a smartphone to run everything? Kind of a wide open question, but what do you think?
So from the tenant side, yes. From the PM side, there is a mobile or a web-based, platform where your team will log into, and it's a lot more, capable, I would say. So you can take a look at all the different communities in your portfolio, every single unit, what alerts or notifications or even batteries running low, basically deploy your maintenance staff from that website. So it's a little different on each side, but there is a lot of options for your tenants when they're using the resident mobile app. It's very customizable on their end. You know what notifications they want to receive. They have a few different modes that they can go into, home or away, so they can kind of set those themselves.
Does the owner also have some options for use on a cell phone to control things?
So we actually are currently developing a mobile application specifically for the PMs and their team members and the owners, whomever is a stakeholder who would kind of see what's happening or be able to send, let's say, temporary access codes. Again, those are all doable through the web-based platform right now. And the mobile app that's specific for the PMs and their teams is currently being in development.
Got it. Another person's asking about a device to answer your door, one of those Ring doorbell systems. Do you guys have one?
Also in our product lineup coming up very soon.
Great.
It's on our product roadmap.
You're going to have to do this next year so we can get all these updates.
Right.
Sounds
We're going to have a
exciting.
huge array of even more products starting next year. So they're going to come out in phases, of course. Each quarter we'll have a release. But really excited for some of these that are going to be coming up. And of course, we've listened to property managers directly, learning from them what they want to see, like those IP cameras, the smart doorbell, which also has two-way audio, which I believe is what was mentioned here.
Got it. Got it. Someone made a comment about these virtual showings. A lot of owners and managers are more hands-on. They like to meet, the prospective tenants face to face. How do you overcome that issue when you're doing these virtual showings?
Totally understandable. So really all we're doing is eliminating that sales pressure that some future tenants might be feeling when they're, accompanied throughout that, right? But my understanding from a lot of the self-guided tours is right afterwards, if they're interested, they actually sit down with the leasing agent in a socially distanced environment. So that's something that you can do and still have that personalization and one-on-one conversation. It's just allowing them to kind of tour it on their own, feeling more comfortable and more connected with the unit. And then, of course, increasing your opportunities to close that deal by over 10%. I think, you can definitely use your time more wisely.
Yeah, I guess you could always do a follow-up interview. And, I kind of get your point there because, when you have these open houses in my neighborhood, I love to just walk in and check them out. But when the real estate agent's, on top of me, it's not as much fun. So you make a fair point there. What about mobile pay for laundry? Do you guys have that?
No, but that's something that we can definitely consider putting onto the tenant resident mobile app. So we are currently integrating and kind of adding to all the things that you can do there, right? Making payments, deploying maintenance staff and things like that, making it a truly inclusive all-in-one platform. We also have integrations with big P4 companies that you're currently using, such as, RealPage. Those big guys have just basically dominated the multifamily industry. So we're definitely going to be creating some partnership opportunities there where, again, it's just one single sign-in and your team can manage everything.
Got it. Got it. This person, I don't know her name, his or her name, but the email address is a healthy choice. Asked a ton of questions, so I hope this person
Awesome.
contacts you afterwards. In terms of question volume, this person should win a prize just for that. But is there a device that can show you your property when you're not on site at the property?
That can show you the property, like
Yeah, I guess
a
like a
camera.
remote camera. So can you like spy on your property when you can't
Oh,
be there?
absolutely. So with smart security cameras, throughout the community, the only thing we don't recommend is a camera, obviously, in the unit. That's where the submersion and entry sensors come in, and you're kind of securing either vacant or occupied units that way. But worrying about privacy issues. However, your property, your community, your amenities, you're welcome to put smart technology and smart cameras specifically everywhere. So yes, you can definitely take a look at what's happening on your property.
Great. I'm going to ask this Arlene's question only because it applies to me too. Does all this stuff or any of this stuff make sense for someone who owns a 4-unit 1930s building? And do you have 24/7 customer service available if owner or manager should get into trouble?
Yeah, the short answer both are yes. So with a property like yours, which is like a quadplex, it sounds like, you can still utilize a lot of technologies. For example, the smart water meter is useful for every single community because unfortunately with older buildings like 1930s, you some of those issues and you really want to be able to be proactive and not incur any costs with that. But I will share with you, we actually have a client, for example, who has a high-rise building that was built only 3 years ago in 2017, and they've already spent over $1 billion in water damages. Hence why, of course, they're big lovers of our smart water leak detector, but definitely something to consider.
Yeah, I mean, you could have one small toilet leak and it doesn't take very long to run up, hundreds, even thousands of dollars in water. So and I have a 4-unit building built in the 30s, and that's something I would definitely consider putting in place. In addition to some of the cameras, particularly watching a carport, often could be break-ins and things like that. So it's all critical. And then we got another question from Alec about 24/7 support line. What kind of customer service you guys offer,
That's a
because
great question.
you're dealing with technology. The stuff can get complicated,
Yes.
and there can a lot of user error. It's never the technology; it's always user error. So people need help.
Hey, sometimes it's the technology. It can always be improved. That's our perspective, is how can we continuously improve and gather that feedback from everyone. So have 2 different 24-hour teams. One is specific to the property managers, owners, the stakeholders, and then the other one is specific for tenants. And we've actually developed like a community around that. So tenants from all over who are using Arize can communicate and can kind of build that and answer each other's questions, kind of check in. And then also if they have any questions, they can reach out to us directly and we will of course guide them through it. We definitely don't expect anyone to be super tech savvy. I myself am not the most tech savvy, hence why Kyle's on the call to help us with the tech portion.
Okay.
But definitely we have some pretty smart people on the team who will help guide both your team as well as your tenants.
Excellent, excellent. Victoria's given you her email address, so we'll make sure you guys get that. She has
Thank you,
some
Victoria.
information she wants on the smart water technology. And again, that email address to contact you,
sales@arisehub.com.
Arize Hub. Don't forget the hub, and don't forget Arize is spelled with a Z. Otherwise, your email won't get there. Is a phone required to unlock the smart lock, or is it by code? What happens if the power goes out or battery dies? And how does a tenant get into their place if there is no key? Essentially, what backup option is there if the lock malfunctions?
So yeah, I hit on this a little bit earlier, but there is a keypad on the lock itself. So if you don't want to open it with your phone, you can just type in the code that the tenant creates themselves. But yeah, once again, you'll get a notification, or the tenant and the PM team will get notifications when the battery is about 30%. So it's just a matter of being proactive once again. So if 2 people are getting it and both don't replace it, then you're kind of SOL. But if worst comes to worst, you can always just replace the D battery in there and get right back in.
Yes,
Great.
plus of course there is a physical key with smart lock. So there is a master physical key to open it. So even if the battery's dead, I promise you, you can get in and out.
Got it. Got it. Well, being a recovering certified public accountant myself, I like this question from Gabriel. Which smart devices offer the best return on investment or are most needed in the market?
Smart water leak detectors,
Hands down.
super, super cost effective. These devices are so affordable. Well, come find out. You're going to be pretty surprised, but they save so much money. It's pretty insane. It's kind of a no-brainer.
And are they tough to install? I mean, is it a big
No, I did it myself. So if I can do it, anyone can do
deal?
it.
Believe me, you're far ahead of me. So, okay. Regarding 24/7 technology support for tenants, do you have bilingual support in Spanish?
Yeah, so that's actually something that we would be outsourcing. So we're trying to basically develop a partnership with, maybe a third-party company that will help us in that respect. Either that, or of course, we can just continue to grow our team by targeting individuals who are bilingual. So that's definitely not an issue.
Got it. Got it. And do you have a smart device for rental applications? Not quite sure how that fits into your wheelhouse. But
Rental applications. Okay, so when you basically submit your application for a lease,
yeah,
potentially,
for a
yes.
lease, typically you'd get that through a tenant screening company. So I'm not too sure about that one, Fern. But the Healthy Choice is Fern, by the way. She gave me her name. So
Very cool.
maybe that's
Well,
not in a technology company's wheelhouse, I would suspect.
however, again, we always build our strategic partnerships and alliances. So anything that we can't be the specialists in because we're very focused on providing really great quality products and service, we will partner with other companies. So we can always accommodate things. Once we hear from the PM saying, hey, this is something of interest, we reach out and try to find those solutions to, again, make it an inclusive platform. So if, the real pages of the world are offering this option, an integration with them would easily resolve this.
Got it. All right. We're down to the last question. So if anybody out there has more questions, please put them in there. But this is a great question. I assume your devices are pretty low power, but someone's asking about whether you need to update your electrical in order to install one of these systems.
Now, you don't have to break any walls. You don't have to do any wiring. They are so easy to install. Honestly, an entire unit, the entire smart products package can be installed within less than 30 minutes. Your maintenance staff can be trained on how to do this, or we can send a third-party installation team to do it for you. But we do have videos for installation that even users like you and I can follow to set these up. And most of them take batteries. So again, very low usage. The battery life, roughly 2 to 3 years on average for most of these devices. And then only the Smart Hub actually is plugged into the wall. But again, that one is very low usage as well.
We do have a second iteration coming soon in the future, which will have a failover option that will be battery operated. So if the power ever does go out, it'll just fail over to the battery. So you'd never have to worry about connection interruptions.
Yes.
Great, great. Well, we're definitely going to need an update in the future from you guys because this stuff is just coming at us fast and furiously. And there's just so many cool new devices that are being developed constantly. And as you guys get more entrenched and get more customer feedback, you guys in your company is going to create incredibly new ideas. So we definitely keep us in mind to come back and report to us on this stuff for sure. Listen, Mira and Kyle, you guys were great. Fantastic presentation. I know after years of being in this business that, something like a water detector can save so much money. A camera could make your tenants feel so much safer at your property. I mean, this stuff, it always pays off to make these types of investments, and it is really, really a great presentation. I think people will have a much greater appreciation for the technology that, is available to us today. So thank you again for that.